January 6th, 1923, London. 5 adventurers gather, drawn together by an insidious plot designed by a dread hand. Drawn together to embark on a journey from the River Thames to the shores of the Bosphorus. Traveling through Europe on a coal-powered palace, they'll combat terrors ancient and new. They'll see the wounds of the World War just recently ended, and the rumblings of another yet to come. They'll experience opulence rarely seen, and terrors unimaginable. Join us now for the horror on the Orient Express.
So you're back in London.
We get back. Robert stayed in the guest room of the townhouse. Gaining health. Do I gain any health back during sleep?
Yeah, you would gain back 1 HP, both.
Okay.
You didn't break anything. These are wounds that will slowly debruise.
So, because of Julia's health, she's at 5 out of 8 health points. Vernon's 10 out of 11, so he's good to go. But Julia needs to be taken to a physician on this Saturday morning. Vernon sends out a telegram, 2 telegrams in the morning, one to the hotels of. Yes, I send out a telegram to the 3 who are at the party, and I send out a telegram to our physician.
Okay. The physician shows up after an hour. It's a Saturday. He doesn't have anything else to do. You called? What is the issue?
Oh, yes, my daughter Julia had quite the fall last night.
Oh, that is no good. She fell down the stairs?
No, just down a hill.
Oh, down the hill. He walks in and he's like, Where's your daughter?
She is upstairs in her room.
I will go see her. He goes up. After a few minutes, he says, well, it's mostly bruising. She has a mild concussion. Really, the only thing that will treat this is maybe some ice and a bit of time. Well, if there's anything you need from me, let me know. But as I said, simply time will tell.
Sounds good.
Okay, everyone gets your telegram. What's everyone doing?
I'm reading the paper.
You're there. Reading the paper?
Reading the paper.
It's the 5th.
It is the
the
6th,
6th
Saturday morning.
Everyone shows up. Nothing in the papers. Nothing happened today. 1.
Vernon answers the door.
Hello, Vernon. How was your expedition? May I come in?
Oh, please, come to the parlor. We're still waiting on it.
Hold that door.
Charles.
Morning.
Good morning. If you could please go to the parlor. We're still waiting on Miss Fredrickson.
All right, fantastic.
As that is said, my cab pulls up and I hop out.
Okay. A few moments later, she appears at your door.
Miss Fredrickson, great, we were just waiting on you.
Ah, yes, sorry. The cabbie was slow.
I presume so. Shall we go to the parlor for tea?
Sure.
I'm in the parlor setting up the train.
You missed the event last night yourself. So, thank you all for coming this morning. We do have something to go over what we found out about the train from last night.
Yes, what was your adventures in Liverpool again? Why would you skip dinner?
So, we took the train back to Liverpool where...
No, you took it halfway to Liverpool.
Halfway to Liverpool. Amongst the bridge and the river where the original train went missing, I had figured that if we opened the door where the train had gone missing, it would be means to close it. I was very much incorrect in that thinking. It went around so many times, and the actual full-fledged train appeared with what we can only describe as ghosts. Isn't that correct, Robert?
I'm not really sure what happened. It was kind of scary, and I kind of froze. Not really sure what happened. I wasn't sure if I was hallucinating or what was going on. But, yeah, there was something there.
Did you get into Frobisher's snuff box?
No.
No, there's none missing. I think.
No, nothing at all. I had been brought onto the train by these figures, and I met, actually, Randolph Alexis and Henry Stanley.
How did you fare on the train, Robert?
I didn't get on the train. They kind of like got on the train, the train started moving again, and then it disappeared. So I decided to do what any good person would do and pick up the train and go. But it wasn't much more than moments later that they showed up again.
On the train, my daughter was there. I do not know how she got on, but now she is in bed rest for a couple days. Julia will be out of commission for a while. And so, in order to get off this train, like a model of the model was made out of human parts.
Whose parts?
Parts of the other passengers who had deceased.
Okay, you definitely got into a snuff box.
No,
Yeah.
really, there's no snuff missing, I think.
Like, belongings of the other passengers, or like you dismembered the
So
other
the
passengers?
intestinal tract was actually the track. But that's just semantics.
Feeling a little ill.
Yeah, I think I actually would just be running off to the nearest restroom to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
First door on the left.
I'm gonna have to put aside my tea.
Oh, and that's not even the most important part. I found also Albert Alexis. Unfortunately, I did not find him alive. And Vernon pulls out the pocket watch, right? Pocket watch with his initials on it.
Any idea of what did happen to him?
I don't think you would like to know.
Oh. Well, did we glean any useful information from your side journey?
No useful information to journey forward with. We found him.
But this doesn't get us any closer to the simulacrum.
We need to find a file to remove the markings from the bottom of the train. No one else must turn this on.
Charles picks up the engine of the train and pulls out his pocket knife, and I start scraping at the runes.
Okay. After a few minutes, you feel like you've done a serviceable enough job that the ruins are.
Here you go, Robert. Enjoy your train.
Oh, I forgot to mention, after we had come back into this dimension, we had two people come with us. We actually had Randolph Alexis and Henry Stanley join us. However, after seeing Robert with the train, Henry Stanley decided to run off. We lost track of him and no idea what would have happened to Randolph after jumping from the train.
Randolph, the occultist Randolph?
Randolph Alexis called this the Randolph? Yes.
Why did you just let him run off?
I didn't. I jumped off a train. I'm sorry, I'm not just keeping track of everybody. I'm around.
You just met him moments earlier.
Yes, and then we jumped for our lives as it was crashing into another train. Would you like to read the papers tomorrow?
Charles is making a mental tally of one more person he has to kill.
I had no means to run after him. Me and my daughter were both limping back to the nearest city. Robert carrying a train, and we couldn't go after Henry.
What about Stanley?
Randolph. Yes, Henry just ran off.
Is there a possibility that Henry's back at my new locale?
I mean, it was his apartment before it was
It's
yours.
not my apartment.
I said it was his apartment.
I'm wondering if he went back.
Shall we go?
Sure, let's find him.
Henry, could you please hail us a cab?
So you hail a taxi cab.
Yes.
Is everyone going, or?
I'm gonna go, obviously.
Oi, friend, where are you headed?
We're headed to... Yeah.
West End, Derby Street.
You go. You
Okay.
go. You show up. He's not there. Constance is like, "Oh, good, sir. You've made it back. What a wonderful happenstance.
Is
Thank
the
you
room
for
clean?
showing up. I have not touched the room, as there has been no progress on it." He's not here.
There's actually the Orient Express, which I'm sure we've been talking about.
Oh, we're planning.
So-
we got to get
The perfect
tickets,
route
yes, so-
will take us to each of the places we need to be. What time are we currently at?
I would say it's probably 3 or 4. Yeah, we'll say 4.
Yeah,
Shoot.
afternoon.
Okay, so Monday would have to be our next.
Yep.
So, the next train leaving from London on the Express is 2:30 Monday. Let's go grab the others from upstairs, bring us back to the townhouse, and we shall book our plans from there.
Sounds good.
We run upstairs, we walk upstairs, knock on the apartment door. I don't assume it's open.
Come in!
Okay. We need to go back to the townhouse. We are planning a trip on the Orient Express. Our first stop will be, well, I mean, our most important stop will be Paris.
Let's go our own ways, prepare for this long trip that we have ahead of us.
And by going to your own place, you mean coming back with me?
Yeah, unfortunately my stuff is at your place.
Sounds terrible.
Wonderful. I'll see you all Monday at 2:30, and I get up and I walk out.
Have a fine day.
Bye. Thanks for assisting.
So everyone goes home, collects the things they want on the trip. Monday arrives, and you guys set off on your trip. I assume, did you guys all show up individually? Did you come as a group?
We probably came together.
Because
I'd show up
we
just
occupy together.
there. At the,
Show up alone. We all know what time.
yeah.
2:30.
Okay.
True.
And I sent out the reminder telegram, so everyone knows to show up at 2:30.
It takes you 8 hours to go from London to the ferry. The ferry is 2 or 3 more hours, and then the train from Calais to Paris is another 8 hours. So you have a total of basically you kill the whole day just traveling to Paris.
So that was Monday's then.
Yep.
Yep.
Do any of you want to do anything during that day? Do you want to check in with anybody? Do you want to interact with anybody?
I don't want to talk to anyone.
We're not talking about like normal social interactions. Like, let's say I was in the dinner car,
Yep, you can do that.
but does that even matter?
It could. These characters are going to show up time and again. I have a whole book of them.
So I guess if it's only a day that we have to role play, we can do it. That's not
Is
bad.
there a newspaper to read?
Yes. Let's see what happened on that day.
No. Yeah, I didn't read it. Or I didn't comprehend it.
I read it.
I read it.
On Sunday, January 7th, the National Unemployed Workers Committee movement stages a demonstration demanding the Parliament address the unemployment issue. Thousands attend, communist banners are flown, and the red flag and the Sanfan soldier song are sung in Trafalgar Square. This is a prelude to the more violent conflicts the investigators will experience. So all you know is that yesterday that there were demonstrations in Trafalgar Square. You're on the train, and even though this is just the trip from Calais to Paris, gorgeous train. Blue and gold, everything is, like I said, Palace on tracks. Like, this is the nicest anyone probably has ever experienced. So Annie and Martin probably have their own compartment in the train. The rest of you need to pair off. Because they're
Okay,
in
I'm
a
going
car.
I'm going with Heinrich then.
Okay.
Ronan and Heinrich.
Okay. So on one train car, you guys have a whole train car. Robert, are you bunking up with other people, or are you getting a 2-person room and bringing
Yeah, because
Charles
if
with?
you don't get a 2-person room, you're gonna get 2 more randos.
Annie and Martin and Heinrich and Vernon are in one car, and then the next car is Charles and Robert. So there are 2 Forion cars, which is the cars that you guys are in, the nice sleepers, and then there's the actual sleeping cars, which have 4 to a bunk, and then also the engine locomotive.
Better be ready for restless nights of me just literally playing music all night.
So I'm going to read what's in the Traveler's Companion real quick. From the London to Calais and then Calais to Paris. The Orient Express itself does not depart from London. The boat train takes travelers to the French port of Calais from St. Pancras station. 3 axles per carriage ensure a smooth ride. You would have known this from your training, Charles.
Do you see the station in London? St. Pancras.
St. Pancras, thank you. And a well-stocked restaurant car is attached. The train travels without stopping through the English countryside, through Kent, across marshes of waving Romney grass, and finally into Dover in a little over 2 hours. At Dover, the dock is conveniently close to the railhead. Passengers board the ferry for the coast of France and the city of Calais. Passengers may pre-arrange private first or second class berths on the boat, or stay in the general rooms aboard the ferry. A first class ticket aboard the Orient Express does not ensure a first class cabin on the ferry. Crossing normally takes 2 hours, or a few hours, unless the sea is rough. It is not. You have to go through... Yep, you have to go through French customs. Everyone roll a credit.
I succeed.
Ooh,
I succeed.
29 success.
Oh, 11. What?
Yep, they take good care of you. No issues. They usher you on. All your passports check out. Everything's
Credit
fine.
doesn't update.
Is there anything in Calais worth of note to do?
In front of the Calais Town Hall stands the Burghers of Calais, a statue group by Auguste Rodin. Rodin.
Is there a newspaper to read when we get there? Because it's obviously going
It's
to
the
be
same day.
different.
I mean, yeah, it's the French version, so
Oh.
it talks about the worries
I
about
don't
the
know
occupation
French,
of
so
the
it
Ruhr.
doesn't.
And
I
the
don't
Daily
read.
Baguette.
We are in Paris.
Oh, so fast.
Is this where we now go through customs?
We are in Tuesday then. Yes.
No, you went through
You
on
said
the
it took
border.
a full day.
They had no issue with his knife?
You guys passed the credit rating. You guys arrive in Paris at about 6 at night.
For the train, do we have to stay in hotels or do we just stay on the train?
You can stay in the train. If you're going to spend any time in Paris, you need a hotel room.
Oh, because we have to rebook a ticket, right?
No, your ticket will.
Yeah, how do we get on and off the train? So we do have to pay attention to this.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
Oh, there's actually more hotels.
I'd like to find Maurice.
the conductor, he is at your beck and call.
Fantastic.
Hello, monsieur.
While we're here, where would foreigners go to socialize? You know, I'd like to speak with people, but unfortunately I don't speak French.
Well, there's many places to stay within the city of Paris. If I may, I would recommend, for a man of discerning taste like yourself, the Bristol Hotel. You may also try the Hotel de Rime. If you were looking for something a little more light on the wallet, I would try the Balmoral.
All right. Maybe there was a small communication.
Oh, I apologize.
I'm not looking for a place to stay, but I do appreciate that information. I'm looking for more of a lounge or a cafe, a speakeasy.
Well, there are cafes all along.
Frequented by English speakers.
Well, there is. Yeah, most of the cafe by the Eiffel Tower and those are frequented often by internationals. That would be a good place to start. If you're looking for something a little more burly, there is a port on the Seine. There's a pub down there called the Wounded Dog. That's a little bit more, how you say, brawny.
Sure. Well, thank you, Maurice. I'll take my leave and I'll be back in time for our next excursion.
Au revoir.
Thank you. To the Wounded Poodle.
Question: when does it leave from London?
So we left at 2:30. From London, and he took about
20 hours.
16.
Yeah, so just it's the next day, so the first.
So we're on Tuesday now in
Tuesday.
Paris.
Yep.
Are we meeting for breakfast in the breakfast car or something? Okay, that way we can discuss the plan.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not
just-
coming with you guys. I'm going to the Wounded Poodle.
Are you telling us that you're going to the Wounded Poodle?
I don't like you people.
Are you taking your stuff?
Because I'm in my room. I'm in our room.
Well, how safe and assured can we feel leaving our items on the train?
No one will go through your room if you continue to keep your room.
How long does it stay at?
Paris.
It will leave the next morning.
Okay.
I believe Wednesday morning.
Yep.
So we have a day.
We have a day. at
Well, you have a
Paris.
So-
a night.
Don't.
Oh,
A
and
night in Paris.
Yeah, because we're at 6
Yeah,
p.m.
6
p.m.
But
and it leaves at 8
It's
a.m.
tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Sometime.
we have to go to the Bibliothèque Nationale. That was one of our stops that we have to make. in
Which is-
Paris.
Definitely close by now.
I will chance that I'm not going to get shanghaied at the Wounded Poodle, and I will just take my walking stick.
If we were to not jump on the train the next day, what then is the...
Your stuff would be left at the station.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously taking the stuff, but I'm just saying if we were to, book a hotel room because we want to stay some time in Paris.
You would take the next Orient Express that came
Okay,
through.
good.
Which would be
I
at
just want to make sure that that's a thing and it's not just
23:16 or 23:33.
23:30.
22.
It'll be leaving at like
Okay,
11
that's not
o'clock.
confusing. I'm just about, but there's too much we got to do in
But it has,
Paris.
it has two
Oh, yeah.
Paris.
So there's a part of me that also wants to go to the catacombs because of his interest in death.
I didn't talk to you guys about any of this.
No.
It's going to be really awkward when
Yeah.
I get back to the train really quick and I get on the train and I leave and you guys are all still
That
in
is
Paris.
true, yeah, you left.
Well,
without
you would
telling
notice that our
anybody.
things are gone.
Your things.
Your things
Yes.
are gone.
Well, my things are gone.
Depending on how much time I actually have on the train before it departs. If I'm running last minute, I get on the train, in it goes, and I get to our room, and there's someone else in there with me,
To be honest, you'd probably enjoy that a lot more.
that'd be great.
I mean, he would be like, "Oh no, shoot,
Or he'd be like,
crap! I need to be back in Paris." But it's like,
I can get back on with my mission.
Okay. So,
Is there an ability to take an Orient Express train backwards? Or is this only one way?
No, it goes back.
so shall we role play breakfast?
Yeah. Paper.
If you want to do that,
it's a ring race.
So paper.
Scissors.
We get
Is there paper for today? When?
for
Oh.
Tuesday?
Is it going to be in French?
True.
unless you
I
find.
mean, it's the Orient Express, so there's probably.
Well, if
They
you're
have
still on the
whatever
Orient
paper we
Express,
have.
yes.
Yeah,
We're
we're
getting
having,
off.
breakfast
we're
on
having
the Express.
breakfast on the Orient, and then
Yeah.
we'll head off to the.
Why are we having breakfast at 6 p.m.?
I
This
thought
is the next
I thought
morning.
this was the next morning.
No, you guys have to. If you're
It's
gonna.
at 6 p.m. right now.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah, it's 6 p.m. right now. You guys
Yeah,
shut
it
up.
leaves
If
in the
you
morning.
wait till the next morning,
Oh, okay.
you're not staying in
So
Paris.
I guess we're not
Gotcha.
getting breakfast then.
No.
You guys all need to get together. By the way, they would have told you that you're coming to Paris in the next half hour, so you all would have known beforehand that you're
Yeah.
stopping.
So where are you staying?
I'm probably going to be finding a cheap hotel yet
Good.
again.
Maurice told me
Oh,
about
okay, maybe I
one.
should just look at that.
It was called the Balmoral.
I would guess that Martin and Annie would both just go to a fairly decent hotel. So I guess I would
There's
probably go
your
to
spiel.
Heinrich and Vernon and see what we're
He
planning.
also-
I like my privacy.
You also told me about a bar. You
Yeah.
went to a bar.
Alright, so,
I don't know if they're trying to role play that.
okay.
There.
We're doing an aside. We're becoming friends.
Oh,
Don't lie
so
to yourself.
sad.
Don't
Yeah.
lie to yourself.
It's not happening. Vernon,
Yes.
The odd couple.
when we arrive in Paris, I will be. The one thing that we know for sure is we need to go to the Bibliothèque Nationale, where we'll find our first clues. So I think that should be our first steps. I see that there's a hotel right down the strip there.
You
Hotel
said
de Rhin.
that. Oh yes, the Hotel de Rhin.
During. We might as well just. I will be staying there. I mean, if you care to join. That is my initial
It's
plans.
a middle class hotel, so yes, I would be staying there. So should we go get Annie and her body?
Yes, I believe she's in the car next. Or
Yeah,
no,
she's in the same
next
car
room.
as us. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
So
Honestly, as soon as you guys are doing that, I'm probably already on my way to you.
okay. So we'll probably just bump in the
Yeah.
little hall. Oh, Annie, Vernon and I were just speaking of that our first clue that we needed to follow up on was at the Bibliothèque Nationale. So we're planning on going there in the morning tomorrow, and then the good thing is all of the hotels are right along near there. That is where we're going to look first and planning meets. Vernon and I will be staying at the Hotel de Rhin, which is
we have not met your bodyguard before.
Probably not.
no.
So just
Well-
because I did forget his name, I need to introduce.
We probably
myself
met
to
him. We probably
No,
met
because
him
he
in
stood
London.
outside in the.
Oh, good point.
He would never ever. I don't know if he ever came in with you.
No, you guys probably would
Met
have
him on the
met
train
him. Yeah, in the
when-
train
in
from
London.
Yeah.
Oh,
London
okay.
to here.
Yeah. From London to Calais.
Okay. So what was his name again?
Martin.
Yeah. So Annie, we are planning on first thing in the morning and heading to the Bibliothèque Nationale to go after our first clue. We should inform the others in the car next door just so that they are aware.
If
If-
we must.
Yeah, we must. I mean, unfortunately, we are all in this together.
Okay. So we've established that you're all staying in the same hotel.
Yep.
No one has talked to each other.
Well,
We're gonna go
Cars.
over to
Okay.
the car.
at the suggestion of staying at the Hotel de Rhin, Annie probably would just say something along the lines of like, as long as it's an acceptable place to stay.
Yes, I myself do
It's-
not know about the Hotel de Rhin, but
It's high end.
Yes,
Okay.
it's high end if you would like to read.
Okay.
There's not much to read, but if you would.
Yeah. Then that works for me because it will be convenient.
yep. And then we will go to the car over to inform these people.
As the door opens, we're going to a bar.
A bar.
Yep.
Have you forgotten what we are on the strip for?
Just right after you're bringing all your luggage to a bar.
No, we're going to the
Stop.
hotel, and we are dropping our things there, and we are then going to the bar.
Oh yeah. I mean, sure.
We've been stuck on a train.
Yes.
It's a very nice train. It's really great.
Okay. Well, the three of us, Vernon,
Oh, so we'd have to-
Annie, and myself, we are planning for tomorrow's excursions. We are heading to the Bibliothèque Nationale, so that is where our first clue is. where we should get things rolling. The hotel we are staying at is the Hotel Durin, which is right near the bibliothèque.
Hope you enjoy your fancy stay.
I always enjoy fancy stays.
So we will be at the Bibliothèque Nationale at 9 a.m. in the morning.
You can likely expect us.
Yeah, sounds great.
Well, I mean, since we're not doing anything tonight, we could just accompany you to the bar.
The bar.
Sure.
Sounds interesting.
Which watering hole are we patroning?
It is the Wounded Poodle.
Sounds like a high-class establishment.
Annie, you may want to stay at the lounge of your Durin.
I will likely do that.
Or adventure out with us and bring Martin.
Maybe 2 Martins.
Okay, so
Just a
you're
very
all
short
dropping
stature
off
man.
you're going to your,
Hotels
Yeah, we're
meeting up
going
at the bar.
to the Hotel Durin.
okay, you check in for a night. Each one of you gets a room. It's very fancy, very French, very nice. You drop off your luggage, and you head to the Wounded Poodle, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
You two do the same?
I'm
But with a
requesting.
less nice stay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm requesting the entire floor, yet again.
Oh boy, you are just burning through. That's going to require a credit roll.
Do you
And you're going to have to
the
take from
money
your
to?
assets.
This is literally the cheapest hotel.
It is not the
this is
cheapest
heart
hotel.
of Paris. There are no such
You
things.
said that
as-
the cheapest.
It's a lower end
It is a
hotel.
low-end
Oh,
hotel.
It's a low end Parisian hotel.
in the heart of Paris.
Yes.
This isn't like modern day where you find a
Why
a
do you need
Motel
the whole
6.
floor?
Because
at
I like my
every hotel?
privacy.
If you want to burn through all your capital, feel free.
Go camping.
How much are the rooms? The
Be in
Balmoral.
francs, so
It doesn't.
A lot.
It doesn't say how much the hotel actually is.
I'm going to say
Average
equivalent
hotel
of-
price.
I'm going to say the equivalent of like $200 a night, but in francs.
And also in the 20s. Okay, then I'm only gonna get my room.
I'm fine getting my own room.
Okay. You go to the Wounded Poodle. It is a bar on the Seine, but not anywhere near anything nice. So it is a working
Perfect
class
for me.
bar.
Annie doesn't know it, but she's very happy she did not join.
So the 4 of you, Annie, I assume you're just reading your book still.
Probably. Going over travel documents and that sort of thing.
Can I do a spot hidden on the way to the Wounded Poodle to see if there's anybody standing about, especially if we're in Paris and we're in not so nice of a neighborhood.
Any fine young gentlemen?
That's literally where my mind went.
That's
to.
literally what I'm talking about.
That
You see
would
it-
be common.
Yeah, you see
Okay.
several.
Men of the night.
There are
Obvious.
special brothels for young boys who dress as females.
That's not what he wants. Anyway.
So you show up at the Wounded Poodle, and it is a pretty rank bar. Some stuff on tap. A lot of working class Parisians in here. You see a very fat, very bald, very bearded Frenchman behind the bar. You see a bunch of serving girls, all of them. They have a high appearance, we'll put it that way.
To the bartender.
To the bar.
Oh, that's fine.
What can I get you?
Do you have any whiskey?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'll take 2 fingers of that. Do you have any travelers around here?
No.
It's a very
He's
British.
very French.
Very, very
a good
British
point.
bar in Paris.
No.
I was like, wait a minute.
Oui.
Wait.
No.
Well, I've heard that one Aleister Crowley's been traveling, around these parts. I was just wondering maybe anybody around here has, had the pleasure of speaking with him.
I heard he disappeared into the catacombs not but a week ago.
Fantastic. That was great. Alone, or did he happen to?
I do not know.
All right.
You spoke of the catacombs. Are they open to the public?
Whoa.
Every
I thought
first,
you were talking to other people.
No.
Are you
Every
hanging
first-
with me the whole time?
excusez-moi, every first and third Saturday of the month.
Sounds great.
Oui,
Can I get a glass of wine?
oui. And he pours you the whiskey and he pours you the wine.
And then I find a dark corner in the bar.
Monsieur, Monsieur, Mister, barman, please.
I pay him.
Oui.
I slide some bills his way for my whiskey,
Oui.
and then I make my way over to Heinrich, wherever Heinrich is.
Just probably further down the bar, not paying attention to what you were
Next
talking
to me.
about.
Gentlemen, I know we just got here. It's a fairly interesting place. I'm sure they've got some really good drinks. And Heinrich, I might be barking up the wrong tree. Would you like to, Vernon, check out the catacombs?
I'm always up for a good excursion.
I knew you would be.
Just gonna break into the catacombs?
They would be open, though.
No.
It's not
First
Saturday.
and second, there's first and third
Saturday.
Saturdays.
Oh, I didn't know they actually closed them off.
Would you like to join us?
You could book a special.
When
Tour.
when are they
No, breaking
open?
in
I
sounds more
mean,
fun.
are they open?
Just catacombs. Yeah, it's just part of the city.
What exactly are you going down there for?
I mean, it's
Aleister Crowley's been down there recently, and kind of interested to see what other things might.
Oh, I would know that name, and I'd be interested.
I mean, if we want to, take everybody with us, we can. But you remember what you told me about the train?
Right.
He's just gonna sit outside the catacombs and cry anyway.
Maybe he would be safe up here.
Yeah, this is totally a safe place for him.
Yes, somewhere where he can't get into any trouble. Where he can't just run away.
That's true, actually, and there's a lot of witnesses here. So
So you guys are gonna leave without him?
I
Yes.
think so.
Okay. I need all of you to roll sneak, and I need you to roll spot hidden.
Does the alcohol affect him at all?
I had a drink of wine, I would imagine.
You mean stealth?
Stealth.
Oh wait,
What'd
stealth?
you roll?
Where's stealth?
100.
Oh,
You don't see.
Robert rolled 100.
He rolled 100.
You guys knocked some patrons on the way out, and he doesn't notice.
He's in a dark corner. He's facing the corner.
He's sitting in the corner.
We knocked patrons. These guys didn't pay for their drinks. The bartender's
We didn't
shouting
have
at
drinks.
us.
We didn't have drinks.
We
We
didn't.
didn't order.
He
Well,
had
I'm
been here long
assuming
enough to have a
Paper
whiskey.
head.
I'm assuming we had drinks. It's just I didn't
Oh,
order a drink.
I
because you were
didn't. I
talking
thought we were
all the
just
time.
waiting on him.
Okay, so the three of you leave. Robert, you are left by yourself in the wounded poodle.
What would you like to do in the wounded poodle?
Or who?
That's where we're going to end it for today.